Hey, it's Tom from Texas, and it's time for another floppy deep dive, and today we're doing another episode of What's on That Floppy. And so on What's on That Floppy, we are going through my case number 2 here and going through these different floppy disks that I haven't played in over 30 plus years and loading up and see what's on it, and then just making a video and showing you guys what software's on it, games, utilities, demos, whatever, and just going right in the order that I did with my collection to see each one. So I'm not picking out just certain ones, I'm just going right in order. Obviously some of these games will be good, some of them will be mediocre, and some of them will just plain suck. Some of them might not even work at all. And tonight we're looking at this floppy here. We're going to look at the front and the back of it and look at the programs that are on it. So thank you for everybody who's watching. Please subscribe. If you like the video, give it thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it thumbs down. I like your comments on any memories or anything that you have of these games when we come across them. If you ever played them, what systems you played them on. I just find it a blast to go back and play all these different retro games and see what I remember about it, or see if I can even remember how to play it. And it's just such a time stamp, you know, to go back in time and see this period of retro gaming and checking out these games all from like 83 forward, you know, in the 80s. So go ahead and pull up a chair and grab a joystick and let's get started. So on another episode of What's on That Floppy, we're going to be looking at tonight this floppy again. This is part of my case 2. As you can see, it's been crushed and curved, and we're going to test and see what's on the front and back of these games and check out which retro games are on here, our programs or software, which ones work, which ones don't work, and load up this floppy for the first time since 38 years ago. So let's go ahead and load it up here. And let's see what's on this front here. So on the front, it looks like it's original that's been copied. Copyrighted 1983-84 by Activision. So let's go ahead and load this up. See if the fast load works on it to load it. And we've got Steve Kitchen's Space Shuttle, A Journey into Space. So there's our NASA loaded up Space Shuttle, A Journey into Space. Again, this is original, not a crack. So let's dive into the screen so we can see closer of how this game works and how it plays. So Space Shuttle, A Journey into Space is a space flight simulator game that was designed by Steve Kitchens. And he originally designed it for the Atari 2600 in 1983. And then it got ported over to other systems. It was ported over to ZX Spectrum, the Amstrad, Atari 8-bit family, and of course what I got right here, the Commodore 64. So this simulation wasn't the easiest to pick up and start learning how to do it. It definitely, you needed a manual to understand how to play this game. They did not make it very easy. And of course, me not having the original and the manuals back in the 80s, you had to do a lot of pushing of buttons and just trying to figure out how to get this space shuttle to take off. And once you did take off, what exactly were you supposed to do once you got up in space? And so it definitely was a trial period trying to figure out exactly how to get this space shuttle up there and out of Earth's orbit. But once you did, you had different things. You could interact with satellites and different things like that when you finally do get up into space. This, of course, came out in the height of the space shuttle popularity, right? Before the tragedy that we all probably remember when it happened and where you were when you heard that the space shuttle blew up. But you know, it was always just very cool. Anything dealing with the space shuttle, at least for me, I thought was really, really cool. And this game was something that I thought was just neat to try out and play. And here's the satellite, like I was talking about, where you had to interact with that. So anyway, little touch back in time here, being in the space shuttle and doing something different. Let's go ahead and move on to the next game. So now we're going to look at the back side. So the space shuttle took the whole front. And look at the back here. So apparently I have Commando 3 is what it was named back then. Desert Fox and Short Circuit. I'm assuming after the movie Short Circuit. So let's load up this Commando 3. I wasn't aware that there was a 3, but let's see what it loads up. So this comes up, says Commando 86. Copyrighted in 1986. 1-player game, 2-player game. So put my name in here, and I always known this game as Commando 3. I never really called it Commando 86. And I can't say that I played this game a lot, but I do recall it a little bit from back then. It's very gauntlet style, where you go, those guys are coming out of those headquarters there, or whatever you want to call it, and basically once you eliminate that, they'll stop generating the guys. So besides shooting those guys, you also are collecting different things as you go along, shields and so forth. So also you see as you can find the documents required and so forth. But it's definitely no original Commando when you play this. This looks like it's just another try to come out with something to keep it going. But I would not put this in the same category as it. It's just not as fun as that one. Again, this just reminds me of a Gauntlet clone, but now you turned it into military instead of D&D, right? So, interesting game. I'd give it a C, but you know, never, like I said, never really dived into it. Probably not a lot of people have even seen it or ever played this game. I'd be interested to hear in the comments if you guys actually even seen or heard or played this game before. But it was just cool to see something that, you know, it's not as common and as ordinary that everybody else is used to playing. So let's go ahead and move on to the next game. So next we're going to look at Desert Fox. So let's load up this game. See if it works with the fast loader. ABC Unlimited presents Desert Fox. US Gold game. Pretty cool graphics there for the Commodore 64. So this one's from 1985. So in Desert Fox, they basically tried to do a mixture of arcade action with, you know, simulation, and combine the two. And you could start off doing different challenges. So you've got the Stuka attack, the tank duel, the minefield, ambush attack, and convoy attack. So here's minefield. And basically you're just trying to avoid the mines, the different mines on there, and you could shoot them or go around them. And you could control your speeds while you're going through there. But they had all different ones, and this is just a quick little example of what the game had to offer. This is a game, again, you know, I did play in the past. I believe Accolade and, like I said, US Gold were the two that came out with this game in 1985. I don't think it was a huge game. They only released it for the Commodore 64 and the Amstrad at the time. I can remember playing it a little, but I never really got into it. I didn't think, it just wasn't, shooting wise, wasn't that great. moving and controlling it wasn't that great. Again, not a superb game that everyone would remember from there, but I'm sure a lot of people did play this Desert Fox. But again, I would give this one just average. I would give it a C, but again, just cool to see it again. So let's go ahead and move on to the last game. So now let's load up Short Circuit, check it out. Proudly presents Short Circuit. Looks like by West Coast Crackers. Nice little intro there. Programmed by John Meehan. So you do get to be 5 Alive or whatever his name was. It's been a while since I've seen that movie. I'm searching for stuff. Let's get a good look at 5 Alive. So Short Circuit was obviously a film-based game where you're 5 Alive, and you can go through here and search this factory. You're basically trying to escape this at first. Graphics weren't bad at the time. You can go through and examine and search, and you're trying to get new software to learn how to jump and shoot a laser and so forth. There's other robots within the game, but it's all based on there. This is another average game in my opinion, but I can't say I played this one a lot, but it's cool just to see that, you know, being film-based. And I was a fan of this film back in the 80s when it came out. I think it came out in 86. I thought it was kind of repetitive, kind of repeated itself a lot, and just, you know, the graphics were good, the sound was good, the music was good. It just, the gameplay overall and what you overall have to do just wasn't that most exciting thing to do in the world. So that's Short Circuit for it. So that wraps up this whole floppy and what's on this floppy. And so I hope you enjoyed it, just taking a look at some of these different games. And so let's wrap it up. And I hope you liked this video and enjoyed looking at these old games. Maybe one of them brings you fond memories of something that you played in the past when you were a kid, or you had never played it and you need to go download it and check it out today. All my games, I do backups up and make D64 and G64 files, so if anything ever happens, I do have it backed up to another one. So I'm starting a new feature and making videos so I can add additional content during the week. And those videos, I'm calling them bite-sized retro gaming moments. Just looking at different retro games and little things that reminded you of the past, or reminded you of a certain thing of a game that you'll never forget. My example is in Karateka. One of my things was when you run up to the princess and she kicks you and kills you if you don't bow to her and walk slowly up to her, and little things like that. So just doing little quick videos about 30 seconds long, not much more than that. And just so you can see these memories and just sharing them as I go while I'm playing these games, certain thing pops up and it just kind of reminds me of a moment, and I just want to share it with you guys. Thought it would be cool just to make little shorts, since that's the big thing with TikTok and everything else, doing shorts, but I am putting them right here on my channel. So again, if you got 30 seconds to spare, you can look at it and see, and I'll show you an example of the one, like I said, with my Karateka. I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, thank you for joining me on another floppy deep dive.
Yeah!